Smash the like button. Also, Ricky Saints will be just fine on the main roster. I guess you forgot that his best friend is Cody Rhodes.
So, let's talk about Ricky Saints, the new NXT World Heavyweight Champion. I'm happy that that man beat Femi. That was a great match and a great victory. Tony Khan, man, has been fumbling bags since 2019. That was a great victory for Ricky Saints. That's called a big-ass middle finger to all elite fake pro wrestling. They don't know talent when they see it. But I want to talk about these dumbass fans, where it's like, you always want to bring people down. This was a great statement victory. Ricky Saints, he beat Obafemi clean, a dominant champion that has held that belt for over 200 days. Femi is the Bill Goldberg of NXT. That man doesn't lose, but Ricky Saints beat him clean. So, I'm on Twitter, Jason X, looking at all these dumbass tweets saying, well, I want to wait and see on what Ricky Saints would do on the main roster, so I'm not going to judge just yet. I'm like, what? What the hell are you talking about? Stop moving the goalpost, right? Don't live in the future. Live in the now, okay? Be a grown man. Live in the now. Live in the present. The future is not guaranteed for me or you. Why are you skipping ahead so far away? Who cares about Ricky Saints on the main roster? What is Ricky Saints doing now? That's all I care about. What is Ricky Saints doing now? And is he doing better now compared to AEW? So far, Ricky Saints has had a better career in the World Wrestling Federation compared to his run in AEW. That's the point, dog. Are you doing better now in your new company? That's all that matters. At the end of the mother effing day, NXT, that is a brand that's owned by the World Wrestling Federation. That counts towards your WWF career. All his championships, that counts. It doesn't matter if he's not on the main roster yet. Just give Ricky Saints his due. This man was at home for 1 year. This man got punished by Tony Khan for 1 year. Now, look where Ricky Saints is at right now. And your first thought was, well, I'm going to wait and see until Ricky Saints is on the main roster, and then I would judge him. I'm like, what? What the fuck does that mean? Right? I'm seeing these idiotic brain dead takes. I'm seeing dumbass cringe takes, right? People are saying, well, Paul Levesque doesn't push a lot of guys from NXT, so let's wait and see about Ricky Saints. Bro, why are you skipping ahead that far down the line? That's idiotic, and that's wrong, right? That is factually wrong. Can you name me a prospect from NXT who is now on the main roster in the Paul Levesque era? Can you name me one person not named Braun Breaker that has the potential to be a main eventer? What does Paul have to work with outside of Braun Breaker? Who? There's nobody to push, right? That's a false narrative. There's nobody to push on the men's side when it comes to NXT prospects for the past 3 years under Paul Levesque. There's nobody. Who should he push? Dragon Lee? No. Who should he push? Axiom? No. What about Frazier? No. That's a tag team. What does Paul have to work with? That's my point. Carmelo Hayes is 5'8". What does Paul have to work with? Nothing. So you can't say that Paul Levesque is not pushing prospects from NXT that should get pushed on the main roster. There's nobody. That's the point. So how can you say, well, I want to wait and see when Ricky Saints is on the main roster because Paul Levesque doesn't push guys from NXT? Nigga, that ain't true. There's nobody to push not named Braun Breaker. Who? See, You say dumb shit to make yourself seem smart, but you have no facts and evidence. You can't name me not one person. Who should Paul Levesque push from the NXT era, from his era, since taking over for Vince McMahon? Nobody. What about JD McDonough? Should he get pushed? By your logic, right? Name me. Give me a list of all the guys from Raw and SmackDown that got called up from NXT in the Paul Levesque era that deserve a push. Nobody. You can't say Austin Theory because Austin Theory got called up by Vince McMahon, so he doesn't count. What about Grayson Waller? No. I don't see Grayson Waller as a main event talent. Should Paul Levesque push Grayson Waller? Who does he have to work with, dummies? When Ricky Saints gets called up, I can see that man getting pushed because Ricky Saints has the it factor. He has the Shawn Michaels it factor. I can see him getting pushed, right? Him, that guy. Let's talk about the single side of all the prospects that have been called up by NXT to the main roster since the Paul Levesque era. Who should Paul Levesque push by your logic? Because you're saying he's not pushing guys from NXT since he has taken over this company. All right, name me one. Who? What about Ciampa? No, he's not a main eventer. To me, he's nothing more than a tag team fake pro wrestler. What about Johnny G? No, tag team fake pro wrestler. What about Frazier, Axiom, Paul Levesque? He does push them in the tag team division. But I'm not talking about the tag team division. I'm talking about the single side. There's nobody to feature. There's nobody to push on Raw or SmackDown. So Ricky Saints will do just fine on the main roster. Nobody is caping for Dragon Lee. So shut the hell up. Nobody is caping for JD McDonough. I'm seeing no star caliber talent that has been called up by NXT on the main roster besides Braun Breaker. I'm talking about the men's side, not the female side. The female side is doing just fine. I'm talking about the men's side. You can't name me one, man. Fuck. It's like you people love to punch Paul Levesque every week. You love to poke holes in Paul Levesque every chance you get. You love to nitpick Paul Levesque every week without having evidence to push your argument. NXT, they do have stars that can be something on the main roster. Maybe Javon Evans, maybe. Femi, yes. Trick Williams, yes. Saints, yes. Ethan Page, yes. But it ends there. Okay, bitch? Okay, bitch? It ends there. This company is starving for quality talent. Oh yeah, what about Brian Pillman Jr.? Yes, that man has talent. I think Brian Pillman Jr. has a bright future on the main roster, but it's not his time yet. He still needs to develop down in NXT. So, overall, this company doesn't have a lot of prospects. So, overall, this company, it's seriously lacking in prospects. All we have is Braun Breaker, Femi, and Trick Williams. That's all we have. Maybe Ethan Page, Brian Pillman Jr., Ricky Saints. That's about it. So, don't blame Paul Levesque because he doesn't want to push jobbers. Don't get mad at him that he doesn't want to push jobbers. And Paul Levesque, he has no choice but to push men in their 40s. He has no choice. That's all he has is men over 40. Because there's no prospects currently that are worth a fuck besides Braun Breaker on the main roster. Carmelo Hayes, he's 5'8", so stop it. He's 5'8". He will never be a main event talent. So the point is, don't rain down on somebody's parade. Ricky Saints, deserved that victory. So far, this man has been a former NXT North American Heavyweight Champion. And now he is the new NXT World Heavyweight Champion. What was he doing on Dynamite? Nothing. What was he doing on Collision? Even though that man had the most talent on that roster, but yet Con Man was petty. He didn't want to push Ricky Saints for 1 year. He said that he had mental health issues for 1 year thanks to Tony Khan because he wasn't on TV. Okay? So, why are you trying to rain down on that man's parade? By saying, well, I want to wait and see on what Ricky Saints will do on the main roster and then I will judge him. I'm like, what the fuck? Huh? Nigga. He wasn't on TV for 1 year. He got bitched by Tony Khan. Whatever he does is gravy. Whatever he does, it trumps, it dominates his whole entire 5-year run in All Elite Fake Pro Wrestling. Give that man his props. Be happy. Be happy for Ricky Saints. He's doing better now. He is no longer a jobber. He's no longer in catering. He's no longer at home. He's being pushed by the biggest brand in the world. Oh yeah, by the way, fun fact. All year long, ever since NXT has been on the CW network, fun fact, Dynamite has never beaten NXT in ratings since being a part of the CW network. So, by your logic, Ricky Saints, he's better off. Also, he's beating his old company in TV ratings. Right? Right, bitch? So, you can keep on crying, complaining about dumb shit, but Ricky Saints, he's winning. Okay? He's winning alongside Sean Spears, alongside Brian Pillman Jr., Brian Pillman's son. He's winning. Blake Monroe, she's winning. Dragon Lee, he's winning. Listen, I don't think that Dragon Lee will be a main event talent. I think Dragon Lee will be a solid mid-card guy that can be an IC heavyweight champion or a US heavyweight champion. I think Dragon Lee is in that category. I think Dragon Lee can be a future intercontinental heavyweight champion. He's in that category, but not a world champion. Calm the fuck down. Paul Levesque is doing just fine with Dragon Lee. So, listen, at the end of the mother effing day, Ricky Saints has been in this company for over 8 to 9 months, maybe less than that. And yet, those 8 to 7 months has been better than his whole entire career in All Elite Fake Pro Wrestling. And it's getting better and better. That's all that matters. And guess what? If you got a problem with what I said, all right, that's fine. Let's run that fade, dog. Seriously. I'm tired, man. Fuck it. Let's run that fade. Because y'all got a lot of mouths, man. Like, please, nigga, shut the fuck up. Okay? Let's run that fade. How can you duck a fade in 2025? That's it. I'm done.